Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. My name is Kyle. I get to be the campus pastor of our Saddleback Anaheim campus. So what a privilege. And it's a privilege also to be here today unpacking God's word together, pulling out some truths from the Bible. And today I want to talk about waiting. Waiting is a part of life. It's a part of my life all the time. It's a part of your life. And I'm not very good at waiting, which is why I like to talk about it and teach on it, because I hope that someday all this teaching will finally get through to me. And over the last couple of years, I've tried to put some intentional practices in my life just to help me wait more, to flex that muscle. Because the truth is, you and I, we're going to spend the rest of our life waiting. And if everything has to be settled and it feels like we can't wait for anything, we're going to spend the rest of our life without joy. Because we need to learn how to have joy in the midst of the waiting, how to have peace and life in the midst of the waiting, because we're going to encounter it through our entire life. And as I look at God's word, I look at my own life, I'm just going to break down kind of two different categories of waiting that I see. I just made these up. I hope that this helps you, because it really helps me. There's two different categories of waiting. On one hand, we have burn the roof of your mouth waiting. And on the other hand, we have road trip waiting. And you need to handle these differently. In burn the roof of your mouth waiting, you probably know where I'm getting to. It's when your pizza comes out of the oven and the bubbling cheese is there and the crispy crust is there. And you just go, you know what, I want to experience this so badly right now. I can't wait. So I'm going to consciously injure myself, burn the roof of my mouth to eat this pizza right now, because I'm just not willing to wait any longer. This is the kind of waiting where you have a choice, okay? The choice is up to you, but if you stop waiting too soon, there's going to be a consequence, or it's just not going to be as good. And God designed it like this. You look at nature. If you eat a green banana, it's not going to taste good. You want a strong, healthy tree, it takes some time to wait. And if you don't learn how to wait financially, not spend everything that you have today, you're never going to save. If you're single, there's certain things that God has said, hey, I want you to wait on these things until you're in the lifelong covenant of marriage. And in the Bible, David knew that he was going to be king one day. He was anointed as a young teenager, and he had to wait 15 years to actually become king. That's a long time. In fact, there were some opportunities where he could have become king even sooner if he took it into his own hands, but he said, no, I want it to be on God's timing. So he waited. And in this kind of waiting, we need to press into God's wisdom. We need to trust God. We need to press into his discernment. And David wrote about this. Psalm 25, 4-5. David says, make me to know your ways, O Lord. Teach me your paths. Lead me in your truth and teach me, for you are the God of my salvation. For you I wait all the day long. We need to do like David does and throw ourselves into the trust of God and the wisdom of God. Because ultimately, when we're waiting in this roof of mouth waiting, we're saying, God, you know best, and I know it's going to take longer than I think and longer than I want, but I don't want to take it for myself right now. I don't want to take control. I trust that you know best, so I'm going to wait. So that's burn the roof of your mouth waiting. And then there's road trip waiting. This is a different kind of waiting that requires a different kind of response from us. In road trip waiting, you are on a road trip. There's nothing you can do about it. You just got to wait. You have to wait till you get where you're going, and you just got to stay put. And then pretty much the only thing you can do is ask, are we there yet? And God just says, no, not yet. I'll let you know. And on some road trips, you're chilling out, having snacks in the back of the van. And on some road trips, you're hanging on the back of a dirt bike, holding on for dear life. And here in this road trip waiting, here's what we need to do. We need to press into the love of God and the presence of God. That's going to make a difference. And here's what David does right here in Psalm 33, 20-22. He does this. He says, our soul waits for the Lord. He's our help and our shield. For our heart is glad in him because we trust in his holy name. So let your steadfast love, O Lord, be upon us, even as we hope in you. When you know there's not much you can do, you need to call on God's overwhelming love for you and his presence with you. I tell this to my kids all the time. Hey, I'm just happy to be with you. And if you're going to experience some waiting and some painful waiting, knowing that God's happy to be with you, that's going to make a difference. And so you just may take some time to sit with God and just say, I'm happy here in your presence. I can wait. I know you're with me. Would you comfort me? Would you strengthen me? So that's really my challenge today as we learn from David. If you're in the roof of your mouth waiting, press into God's wisdom. Trust him. If you're in the road trip waiting, press into God's presence and his love with you. It's going to make a difference as we wait. All right, it's been great to be together. Hope you have a great rest of the day. We'll see you later. Bye.